But let's turn to the story that we are breaking right at the top of the news at 9. Shaheen Bagh protesters have now called for a Bharat Bandh on the 29th of January against the Citizenship Amendment Act. They've decided to take a united decision to block roads across the country on the 29th if the government doesn't send a representative to Shaheen Bagh by then. The women of Shaheen Bagh have said they will also stand on a silent vigil outside the Supreme Court, awaiting the outcome of the Citizenship Amendment Act hearing that is supposed to begin in the courts tomorrow. Now remember, the women of Shaheen Bagh calling for a Bharat Bandh on the 29th. This comes against the backdrop of a meeting they held with Delhi's Lieutenant Governor earlier today. An 8-member delegation met the LG and agreed to allow the passage of school buses but refused to call off the stir. Remember, the road connecting Delhi and Noida has been shut now for 36 days as women continue their protest against the Citizenship Amendment Act. The women have also been sent a defamation notice to BJP's Amit Malviya after he shared a video accusing the protesters of taking money to continue their stir. So that's what we are hearing from Shaheen Bagh. As I said, there are reports coming in of a Bharat Bandh now being called by the protesters at Shaheen Bagh. Let's go to my first guest this evening, the Lieutenant Governor, former Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Najib Jung, who's come out strongly against the Citizenship Act. He was also in Jamia yesterday. He is a former Vice Chancellor of Jamia as well. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Jung. The big question that I'm going to raise is, starting off, you are among those who is now calling for a dialogue between the government and the protesters. But how does one call for a dialogue when there seems to be no meeting ground? Amit Shah has made it very clear today, there's no turning back on the CAA. The protesters are saying we are going in for a Bharat Bandh. What's the middle ground you see?
I really don't know. I mean, it's really up to the government to call these people and have a chat with them, because this can't simply go on. You can't have agitations across the country. You can't have people sitting on the roads. You can't have a situation like a Bharat Bandh and the government refusing to speak to them. This is not acceptable. I mean, there has to be an invite. I am not saying that the government should talk to political parties if that causes an embarrassment to them, but certainly some of the leaders of these agitations should be called and spoken to. This is, I mean, saying that there is no middle ground is just not possible. We can't let the country slip into chaos.
No, it's not about slipping into chaos, Mr. Jung. There is a need for at least some kind of basic agreement on the need for a dialogue. At the moment, the protesters are upping the ante, saying they are going to go for a Bharat Bandh, and we've got the BJP making it very clear there's no turning back on Citizenship Amendment Act. You tell me, what is that middle ground that you see? I heard you in Jamia yesterday suggesting that you believe that the act itself should be amended so that all minorities are included within the definition of those who are religiously persecuted. Do you really believe that's a workable formula given the tough stand that the Modi government has taken?
I think it's a very simple solution. The CAA as it stands today, to my mind, is not constitutional, and therefore it is only sensible to have two approaches to this. A, that you include the others that you have excluded, or remove all names. I mean, I see no point in being cussered over this and letting this drag on. There is no other solution. I also think, I mean, apart from the CAA, that there is concern now about the NPR. I mean, you are asking people to prove their lineage, their parentage. People coming from Pakistan, for instance, I have dozens of friends who have come in from the Punjab. Our former Prime Ministers, Manmohan Singh and Indra Kumar Gujral, came from Pakistan. Now, are they going to prove where their fathers came from? Their fathers died decades ago. So this is creating an existential question in the Muslim mind, as well as an issue where non-Muslims will have to bribe their way heavily through petty bureaucracy. Is going to be an expensive, chaotic exercise which will go on for years. It is not practical. It is creating consternation in everyone's mind. Even those who support the CAA feel that this is not the opportune time to go with it. We need to get our act together and bring communities together.
How do you respond to
if there
those?
is an impression
How-
that,
Yes,
that
go ahead.
in the Muslim mind,
Yes, go ahead. Please complete.
no, if there is a question in the Muslim mind, then that has to be removed. The Honorable Prime Minister invoked Swami Vivekananda in Calcutta. Well, Swamiji said that he would prefer a Vedantic mind and an Islamic body in India. He said, I belong to a great religion that believes in all true religions. So we have to not single out any community in India. There are 250 million Muslims. There are many, many Christians. This consternation from their mind must be removed.
But there is a sense, Mr. Jung, that this entire protest has become now has been hijacked in parts of the country by politicians. That it is now not anti-CA but anti-Modi Shah. Do you sense that this protest, you've got a lot of children coming into the protest, there is sloganeering against Narendra Modi and Amit